13-year-old Jahi McMath is no longer inside the hospital where doctors declared her brain dead. She was released Sunday night, but family members won't reveal where she is right now. Jahi was declared brain dead on December 12th after complications following surgery to remove her tonsils and adenoids, and her family's been praying for a miracle ever since. Well, joining me now exclusively is Omari Sealey, Jahi McMath's uncle, and Christopher Dolan, the family's attorney. Welcome to both of you, and my incredible sympathies, Omari, to you and your family on what is a gut-wrenchingly emotional case. And you know, everyone's hearts go out to you as a family. Where are you now as a family? You have Jahi back with you. Are you able to say where she is?
We're not able to disclose where she is. As a family, we are definitely relieved that she's no longer at Children's Hospital, but we're all emotionally drained. You know, and I think everyone is on the verge of, you know, having somewhat of a nervous breakdown because this has been an incredible roller coaster ride of emotions, you know, and it's, you know, I'm trying to keep it together now. I keep seeing her picture to the right of me, and it's really tough because it really felt like a hostage situation. You know, it's like they kept my niece hostage, and we literally had to do a covert operation in the middle of the night to get her out of there and go to federal court and get documents signed just to make this possible.
Why do you believe so strongly as a family that there is still hope when the hospital went through the normal process of getting two physicians to declare whether they felt she was alive or not, and they both declared her effectively brain dead? Why do you believe that they're wrong and that there is still hope and she may still be alive?
Because we would believe that as long as her heart is still pumping, she's still alive. You know, when a child is born, they don't check to see if the child is breathing because there's no way to. So what they check for is a heartbeat. They put something on the mother's stomach and they listen for the heartbeat, and that tells you if the child is alive or not. So as long as my niece's heart is still beating, she's alive.
Are you seeing any signs of what you think could be evidence that she's alive?
Absolutely. She's moving a lot more. She responds to audio and touch. And more compelling evidence is that the fact that she can move her head and neck. And my attorney here, he's been in there to witness it. We've had Dr. Paul Byrne to be in to witness it as well, and he believes she's alive and well and that she can come back too.
Let me turn to you, Christopher Dolan. You're the attorney for the family. As I say, incredibly complicated case, isn't it? So many possible precedents can be created here. What is the legal situation right now? The coroner has handed back Jahi's body with the presumption, I assume, that he believes too that she is dead. The family now have her back. Do they have complete legal rights over her body now?
Well, the situation is sort of one in limbo because the coroner on one hand says she's dead, but the reason why the coroner says she's dead is not based upon an independent investigation. It's because the hospital told the coroner that she was dead. So the hospital sets this whole thing in motion, and they're the ones who keep insisting that she's dead because that's what they want out of this situation. And I'm not saying that they were intending to kill her, but now they're invested in that. And so if something else were to change, they certainly would look foolish. But
do you want, from a legal point of view, to have more physicians examine her to determine whether they agree with the original verdict that she is brain dead?
No, what we wanted to do was have her mother have the ability to make a choice as to whether or not her daughter would stay on or come off of a vent.
Should that always be, do you think, a family's choice?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do you feel that strongly, Omari?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the mother that brought the child into the world. She should be the one to decide whether her child continues to live or not someone else.
The hospital said this. This is from the Children's Hospital and Research Centre in Oakland. Our hearts go out to the family as they grieve for this sad situation. We wish them closure and peace. How long could this go on for, Omari? I mean, could we be here in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? You hear stories of people being on some form of life support, sometimes for 2 decades. How long will you as a family persevere?
Right now, we're just taking it one day at a time. You know, we're happy that she's where she is right now, that we were able to remove her safely from Children's Hospital. And right now, we're just going to take it one day at a time.
Are you working on the theory that miracles happen?
Not so much. I mean, absolutely. I will say this. Getting her out of Children's Hospital was a miracle. That was a miracle. The fact that we had deadline after deadline after deadline, pressure situations where they were right there about to pull the plug. And every time they put an obstacle in our way, we were able to overcome it. So that alone is a miracle. The fact that I found Christopher Dolan in the middle of the night, I found this man at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night called him on his personal cell phone number. He had no idea who I was. He had no idea about the story, but he was willing to help.
Everyone in America knows about Jahi now, which must seem extraordinary to you as a family. For those who didn't ever meet her, haven't met her, what kind of girl is she?
Jahi is a very sweet girl. She was very shy, and she smiled all the time, and I could still see her smile. And I'm just still praying that one day I'll be able to see her smile again. But she was she is everybody's favorite, you know. And she just had one of those personalities that, you know, when you meet her, you just kind of gravitated towards her. And it's really tough that we aren't able to, you know, communicate with her. You know, we can communicate with her kind of in spirit, but we would love to be able to have an opportunity to actually hear her voice.
You've been raising money, more than $50,000 so far, on a site called GoFundMe.com. This was to help with all the costs of moving here and obviously the ongoing medical costs. More than 1,300 people have donated in 10 days. You must be amazed by the reaction, aren't you, to this?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, when I typed up those emails and sent them out to the press, I never even thought anyone would look at them. But with a situation like this, when you're talking about a 13-year-old girl who had her whole life ahead of her with such a beautiful smile, I mean, how can you not get in touch with this story? You know, it's kind of hard not to.
Omari, I wish you and your family all the very best with this. As I say, our hearts go out to you. Everyone's hearts go out to you, and we just hope for some kind of happy resolution for you.
And we want to thank you because it was really your show that helped connect us with the people who are now helping her. And news is always often put down, but in this case, you helped make this possible.
Well, I think it's very difficult, and we're going to discuss the legal side of it with some legal experts in a moment. But I've got to say, from a father's point of view, I totally understood where Jahi's mother was coming from. You would try everything and anything if that was your child, and you've got to believe in miracles. And I think it is a mother's right to do that, and not some hospital's right to say, no, we're pulling the plug. So I'm glad if we've been helpful. I hope we can continue to be helpful. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Jahi McMath's situation is a nightmare for her, desperate family, but who should decide what happens to her next? When we come back, I'll talk to Arthur Kaplan, who's one of America's top ethics experts, and CNN's very own Jeffrey Toobin on the legal side.